time. It is interview time. I am beyond excited right now because I have literally two juggernauts, man. Two absolute talented badasses from across the United States. Two people I've been following online for a long time. I've been following their careers. I'm just beyond honored to have them on the Metal Mixtape. I have John Asher and Eric Dow on the Metal Mixtape. What is up, guys?
How's it going?
Cheers. What's up?
Dude, I'm just beyond excited to talk to you guys. For people who don't know, John and Eric, John is a awesome publicist from Canada. He's done so much publications around the world and just has been a hardcore supporter. And also, he's a publicist at Wacken Metal Battle. And John, just thank you so much for being here, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And for the people that don't know Eric, he is the United States, one of the United States reps for Wacken Metal Battle, dude. But not only that, dude, working for Emissary Audio, Fatal Illness, Productions and Management. This guy's just a powerhouse of a musician. Eric, thank you for being on, man.
Thanks for having me, man. Excited.
Dude, hell yeah, dude. So, I think it's kind of crazy how like in life, like, when we're younger, we always dream of doing all these things and then like eventually like you just start coming full circle with people you would have never thought, I first I was meeting people that like through Vakken that knew Eric, and then Eric knew John, and then I knew people that knew John but they knew Eric, and everybody was kind of going full circle, and when I went to Vakken and I realized, I was like, all right, this is like a little family we got, like,
The metal
that we got going on that kind of runs it all.
yeah,
What were you gonna say, John?
I find the metal world, everybody knows everybody.
It's so
Yeah,
small.
yeah, it's pretty insane. So I want to start off with Eric, dude. But Eric, dude, being a rep for Vakken, like what people say is the biggest festival in the whole world. Like first of all, like how did you end up like that becoming a part of like your career? Because like you're a musician, yeah, you've done all sorts of management and productions. Like how'd you end up like bringing your passions towards Vakken?
Well, I've been passionate about Wacken ever since the '90s when I first heard about it. But John Asher is the guy that got me involved with Wacken Metal Battle. I used to manage a band called Vesperia, really kick-ass band from Canada. They actually won the Wacken Metal Battle, so I was already pretty familiar with that. And I had worked with John because he was their publicist, PR dude. And just one day out of the blue, I got a message from John. I think it was like 2017, saying, "Hey, bud, how do you feel like helping me out with this?" And was not expecting that. That was probably the last thing. And, a year later, I was thrust into the Wacken Metal Battle world and the world of Wacken. And I owe it all to John.
That's
Yeah.
awesome, dude. I love that. Tell me a little bit more about that, John.
Well, like I tried it the first year with another partner for the US because like I've been doing it in Canada, JJ Targalia from like Skullfist and stuff.
JJ.
He's been doing the Canadian one for since like man, we've been doing it since 2013. And then
Wow.
I was like, why is nobody doing the US? Why doesn't the US have a battle? Like they don't have, they're not doing one. I don't understand.
Wow.
Right? Like we were doing it, I think, for like 5 years already in Canada. And I was just like, what's going on? Why doesn't the US nobody's taking on the US? And like I'm not American, but like I was like, yo, the US should definitely like it's such a big country and has so many metal bands. It should definitely have the competition. So I tried it out with another partner in the first year trying to get it, but it's like I don't know anyone in the US solid promoters. And like Eric had all like the experience with his management and his band and everything. So like I reached out to him. I'm like, dude, you got way better connects than me for like reaching out to the promoters and figuring out the logistics and stuff for the country because like I'm familiar with Canada. Canada, I got locked down. US is different story. So and I wanted to just, step back and just really just take on the PR aspect, getting the word out and working with the media partners. And Eric was down to like deal with the artist relations and the promoters and stuff. So I'm grateful for all that. And it's been working really well since we've been doing it. And like we've sent, I think we've sent now 4 or 5 bands down there. So it's like it's been good. It's been good.
Dude, that's absolutely insane, dude. That like, yeah, I had no idea that for a time there was nobody repping the United States and there was no battle going over here. Cause like, like as a fan, when I was like in my early teenage, like I used to like worship seeing Wacken. I remember the first festivals I would see were like Dynamo and Rock am Ring and Donington and all that. And I remember seeing Wacken and Wacken just stood out different. The bullhorns, how passionate it was, like there was always videos like it didn't matter if there's like a tsunami going through, like people were still going like ham and everything, like
Yeah.
and I remember this year I had the honor of being able to host the Portland Wacken battle, and I was able to host the finals, and honestly dude, I had no idea the magnitude of this battle until I went to Wacken this year. you know I literally had no idea the magnitude because, like, you see Wacken, you see it from far away, but if you haven't experienced it, it was kind of like,
Yeah.
you just see the videos, right?
It's a very surreal place. Like I loved it when I went. Like it was just like a brotherhood and
So
such
how about this?
like
We'll start.
metalhead.
John, tell me about your first experience, and then we'll hop over. And Eric, you can tell me about your experience at Wacken. Go ahead, John.
So I went. I've only honestly been once because like I can't get away from the other festivals I work for. At the same time, to get back to Germany, I'm dying to get back. But um, I went in 2014 with Mutank. They're Canadian. They're Canadian thrash band from Montreal, and we went. They won, so we went down, and I think as we were previously talking about before we went on air, like it was like it just hits you in the face, and you're not quite prepared for it, but you kind of are. And it was just like I met so many people from around the world that I'm still friends with till this day, and it's all because of Vakin. And I was blown away of the camaraderie of just metalheads. It doesn't matter where you're from, your country, your politics, whatever. We're all here for the love of metal, and that's what matters, right? Like,
Yep.
and that's all set aside. And like, man, my first night I hung out with like the drum tech for Sodom, and he was an awesome dude. We ended up just walking the grounds till 4 in the morning and just, having it was a great time. And then I met friends from Austria, and then I made friends from France, and I made friends from just there. I met Demonic Resurrection from India, and I met like all these characters, and I was like, this is like the coolest place to be. It was just surreal, and like definitely no sleep for like 4 or 5 days, enjoying it all, right? So it was a good time, man, and definitely left an impression. Like I am really dying to get back there, but I have other obligations that have been holding me back here. I work for a bunch. I work for so many music festivals up in Canada, so I'm just stuck up here.
Before we go to Eric, what was your Vakken moment, would you say? Out of that whole festival, what is a key memory that you hold dearly to you that like was a big that like separated Vakken from any other festival in the world?
Are you asking me or John?
Oh no, John.
For me, oh, I thought that was for Eric. I
Oh
guess
no, I sorry. I said before I moved to Eric. Sorry. I'm a
I was
professional.
following. Come on, John, you dunce. Let's get through this.
I thought that question was for you. It's for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
Super
super
Bowl.
quick.
I think oh man, there was too many, but I think watching Motorhead that year. Motorhead
Wow.
stage at Wacken that year. and I think it was the last time, right, for Motorhead too. So it was like that one was pretty memorable to be like there at Wacken. And I believe Slayer 2 was on that bill that year. So it was like it was a really good, fun festival. But yeah, definitely seeing Motorhead one more time. That
I
was
love it. I love it. All right, Mr. Eric. Same question for you, man. Tell me about your first experience at Wacken and also why Wacken is so different from all the other festivals around the world.
My first experience was 2018. You hear about the Vakken rain, the Vakken rain, the Vakken rain, and now I know you've experienced it. Well, that year was some of the least rain. It was sunshine most of the days. Back then, they didn't have the infield open on Wednesdays and Tuesdays, and actually not even Thursdays. They didn't open the infield till Friday and Saturday. So um, there was a lot less competition going on for the Vakken Metal Battle, and a lot of the other stuff that goes around, like say starting on Tuesday now, it just wasn't there. So when I first got there, it was all like Vakken Metal Battle, and meeting all these new people and staying in the campsite and getting everything ready for the day to come. And yeah, man, I just remember going to the morning meeting, just kind of not being nervous, more like fuck yeah, I've arrived type. I've been wanting to be here, and my first time there, I'm sitting in the VIP camp area, and in the backstage area, and I haven't even actually walked through the main walkway yet. I've been shuttled in from behind, and I'm just like, what a surreal experience
Oh,
this is.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
then to meet all the people at once, like in our we only get a few minutes before the battle starts. It's go, go, go. And so yeah, the day one, it was just like, hi, I'm Eric from USA. I'm stoked to be here. And 40 different people that I now call family always like, hey Eric, how's it going? And I'm just fuck, I'll remember your name someday, I swear. Um,
That's
and
incredible.
then it just went from there to judging the battle, and that's like a gauntlet, man. So it's like, for those that don't know, there's two stages, and there's only 5 minutes in between bands. So band gets 20 minutes, 5 minute rest, 20 minutes. You don't even have time to go get a piss or anything like that. You have to have your
It,
friends bring you beers and shit like that, and be like, beer for the poor. And it's definitely a gauntlet. And shit, the day had flown by before I even knew it.
it was
And
insane.
so then we went and checked out some of the smaller stages that night that we're on, and kind of repeat the process next day. And finally, when all the business was done, and it opened the infield, that moment of walking out into that infield for the first time, it's still like, when I think about it, it was like goosebumps. And I was lucky to have a friend there. He's like, Eric, turn around. And I didn't know you had the camera out. So he got a legit picture of me, like, holy shit, I've arrived. And now I've got to walk way the hell over there
Oh
because,
man.
you know, and I'll always remember the first band I saw on the main stages of Wacken was Judas Priest.
Oh, that's so freaking cool, man. And no, you're totally right. You got me grinning because, dude, like, yeah, taking the shuttle buses and like going kind of backstages where like you haven't even walked like the full community fields yet. You know what I mean? You haven't seen all the vendors. You're kind of just like swat behind and like you like I remember seeing like some like I'm not gonna name who, but like just casual rock star and and all that. And for me, like I was kind of like what you're talking about. I was like, Omar, you've arrived. Like you're good, you know.
Yes.
I was like being overly nice. I'm like shaking all the hands of the security guards. I'm like, oh yeah, dude. Like, yeah, I'm stoked to be here. And I can't tell you how many times people are like, oh, excited American, are you?
Yep.
You know?
We stick out like sore thumbs, man. But I feel like if we just own it, and sometimes it's less annoying to them and a little more endearing, I
Oh
find.
yeah.
But just own it. We're the loud, obnoxious Americans.
You want to know the first shell shock? One of the first shell shocks I got from Germany was when I got breakfast because I've never had like a German breakfast there. And I remember I asked for a breakfast sandwich, right? I'd wanted like the because if you're like on Vaughan United or a VIP spot, they have sometimes their own little food places where they cook food. And I asked for a breakfast sandwich, and like like if you live in the United States or anywhere that's like fast food dominant, you're like, oh, an egg McMuffin or something, or like So I remember I ordered it, and it was like a cold bread sandwich with a deviled egg in the middle of it, sliced, and it was a cold sandwich, and I was just like, wow.
That doesn't sound appealing to me. I'm
No,
sure the
yeah,
Germans are like, you guys are weird. That's delicious.
yeah, no, but then I was able to figure it out, and I got my scrambled eggs, and then I wanted a sausage and my scrambled eggs, but I didn't know it was gonna be like a foot long sausage.
Oh, they do their footlongs there, don't they?
Yeah, and I was like, man, they just gave me like a half a pound of eggs and this like pound sausage link,
That's
and
it.
I'm like holding it up. I'm like, how am I supposed to eat this banana?
The food market there too is amazing. The
Oh
metal,
yes, I agree.
and like yeah, like I wanted to add, like I remember doing the shuttle thing. You're backstage, but then when you go into the camp fields,
Yeah.
you see everybody partying and raging, and then you realize, like I walked the whole, not the whole thing because it's so impossible,
Oh, it's hard.
but I was like, wow, I can't believe there's this like thousands and thousands and thousands of metalheads here from everywhere for this weekend. Like it's insane. Like, yeah, it was just, yeah, it's mind blowing.
Dude,
Nothing in North America compares to it at all.
I think it's just like, I was thinking about it earlier because like I see other big massive like festivals in the US or just around, and I'm just like Wacken is just like it's like grittiness, like it makes you tough, dude. Like
Oh yeah,
after I survived Wacken, I felt like I could conquer any festival in the world.
yeah, because it was it's just because when I was there too, it rained, right? So like my shoes were destroyed and I was soaked, and like even the band we were with, the airline lost the tents. So it was like really brutal. It was like, and you just gotta you gotta figure it out, and just but everyone was so friendly, like we just arrived, I remember, and the Austrians, there was these Austrians who I'm really good friends with till this day, came over and offered us beer, the Canadians, because I was with the Canadian crew, and they're just like, would you guys like some beer? And we're like, hell yeah, that's so nice of you. Thank you. Yeah, everyone's pretty genuinely nice and everything. And I think when the bands that win, like the band that wins the battle and goes, um they truly understand, wow, we just beat out all these bands and we have the privilege of playing this thing. And I think that's probably one thing we still try to relate to all the bands that are competing. It's like you're not just playing the stage and playing, you're like it's a whole experience for you. Like you play, you network, you create new friends and metal family and fans, and it's just a stepping stone to what you're gonna move on to next, right? Um, and that's why I think the battle is always important to do in the US too. It's like, let's expose talent, period, right? To new people. So, uh, I hope that every winning band, most of them pretty much have said they were stoked and really honored that they won the battle and got to play that stage and get that real top notch, because it's also I think it's like also it's a real like kick in the ass in a sense. Like this is a reality check. This is what your career, if you really are serious about your metal career in the band,
Mhm.
this is what you could have if you work hard at it. Oh, like, the bands that have been around for 20, 30, 40 years that are doing these festivals have been working at it constantly, right? For this reason, to be on that stage in front of thousands and thousands and thousands, right? And um yeah, so I think having the battle to just try to expose them to that and just to new people, new fans is a really important thing about these battles, and I'm so appreciative that Wacken does this. No other festival does this, right? And I think giving back to the metal community for the independent circuit is super important.
Dude, I can't tell you how nice like Thomas and Holger are as far about like supporting local bands, and also not even just supporting local bands, but like local journalists and local media outlets, and also giving the people a chance in media that would never have the opportunity to learn something new, to, like you said, get a kick in the butt, and really start shaping everything up and being like, oh wow, this is because like I went over there as media. It was a reality check for me too, you know. I was like, oh man, I should have done, I should have done this, I should have done that, I should have prepared this, I should have said that. It was huge reality check, especially seeing how like everybody around operated, because like because there was teams of media people there. I was there by myself, and there was teams of five that were there. There was a guy that had like eight photographers with him. And I see that there, and I'm just like, wow, like these are all superhero media people from around the world that all have like these teams. But the Vakken battle, dude, it's like after going, like I just want to let like like this thing is so important for bands. Like you like I was at the very first band that played Vakken battle, which I believe was Guillotine from Canada. I think they were the very first band to play.
Oh
And
yeah.
and I yeah, yeah, I remember seeing Jesse. Me and Jesse are friends now. And I remember that like there was thousands of people for the first band there. You know what I mean? And like the stages these bands get to play are insane. They're packed with people, but not only that, they're packed with people that really want to hear your band. They're you know, they're
That's
people.
my
They're
experience too. When I went my year with Mutank,
Yeah,
I was like, like you're a band, nobody knows you at all. And I was surprised. There was all these fans, and like they literally had Mutank signs. And I was like, I have my Vakken board here and behind me of my memories there, and I was like, I have all these pictures, and it was just like, so people took the time to listen to the bands before they came to play, which was really cool. And it's really cool to be like the unknown band, and there's people there just want to hear you anyways. And I love that part about the battles too. It's like people are hungry for new music and discovering some new talent, and they go and they check out the battles during Vakken, right? and
yeah.
and it's great. I think it's a great thing for bands to be discovered.
It's just
Uh,
so rare.
Mr. Eric, what do you love about doing what do you love about working with Vakken and doing these battles? What just makes you like just so happy about working with Vakken?
That's, I guess, that's a laundry list the size of a
I
bedroom.
know.
I
I'm
mean,
terrible.
it's
I'm
so
tired too.
rewarding in so many different ways. It's like, I mean, it's a lot of work. Don't get me wrong. Trying to work out the entire USA and make sure new states get involved every once in a while, and rotating around and making sure everything works logistically and make it make sense, financially as much as possible. Because we don't get budget from Vakken or anything to do these, so we're just like shooting off the cuff. And I think that's a big pride I have and I carry with me. Is just, the crazy logistics of getting it done and then getting it done every year. Another one for me is meeting people. I mean, not just for my businesses or my band or anything like that, just, meeting people that are different than me. I get a big kick out of that. Helping bands. I mean, like the management that I do, I always like, I pick out the smaller bands that could use the most help, the ones with a lot of talent, but you can tell they just need a little bit of direction, and if I can graduate them to a bigger, better, management or team, or just get them signed and get them on their way, and then, go fly, be free, it's like, that's kind of the kind of stuff I have time for. And it coincides perfectly with the Vakken metal battle, because that's also what I get to do. I get to hear new bands every day. especially in, the first 2 months where we're doing, the vetting process, making sure bands aren't signed and listening to all the bands who have applied, which, we get hundreds and hundreds of bands every year that apply. So I get to hear new music all the time. And I mean, some of it's like as bad gets, objectively, some people like, I honestly think they're just joking. They're sending in like a ska band or, like a, but so many people want involved. Like, I'm not, I don't know if they're joking or they really think they could join a metal battle and win. I don't know, but
there's a lot of bands that are actually the submissions sometimes are like overwhelming, and because everybody does want to play that they want to play that stage. That stage, I think, it's a very in the metal world. It's like the holy grail, right? Like I hear a lot of bands are like, if there's one thing I could do, it's to play at Wacken, man. That's like the goal, right?
that was I have always had a list with Hellsot and all the shit I wanted to accomplish. And I'll tell you what, Wacken, was right at the top of the list. And my band's been able to play the Wackinger stage there now twice, and
wow,
nothing beats that feeling. Those are the top 2 shows of my life. And I've had a couple of amazing shows that kind of like bump in there and with my memories, but the more I just think about it, I'm like, no, those are probably the 2 best shows I've ever played. And but going back to the original question is, man, you have no idea. Like, we take about a month or so, 2 months at the most, a year where we're not actively working on the battle. It's gotten so hard in booking here that you got to book, well over a year in advance some of these dates, and you're still not getting the dates that we want for the battle. The venues are just booked and booked, and at least the good ones are that I think, the battle deserves. And so you got 10 months straight worth of work. Then you got to, you fly out to Germany and you set up camp and you're in this situation and you get to see a band go from the first round all the way to the stage in Germany. And you get to be right next to them. And
wow,
every one of them are nervous. And you feel
yeah,
like it's your job to just kind of introduce some comedy, like rub their shoulders, give them hugs, talk some shit. I don't, whatever you feel like, I feel like I need to do to like make sure they run out there and do the best they can do, because that 20 minutes is going to go by like that. And then it's just a memory. It'll be there for the rest of their lives and one of the best memories, but it just flies right on by. And just the looks, on their faces, when their set's done and they're taking a picture in front of 5,000 people, gives me goosebumps every time. And then, I think of all the drama and all the hard work and all the late nights and, the stuff me and John, talk about in private that we have to deal with. And, it all just comes back full circle to, oh man, this is worth it.
Yeah, it's like to me, well, I'm gonna put the analogy. It's like winning the Stanley Cup. It's like we got it because I remember being on side stage just for the bands, and I was just like, this is awesome. This is just like, yeah, this was all the stress, all the hard work, the sleepless nights, the figuring out the problem solving for certain things, and just pushing it, and just to be here for this moment, right? Like it's a great feeling. Like it's a really, really great feeling. And then yeah, it's gone. It's over so fast. And
But then they get the rest of the time to wander around and act like rock stars backstage and in the VIP lounge and meet people. And Wacken
it's so cool.
the Wacken metal battle there, they actually set up meetings with industry people, because that's what you're there to do. You're there to upgrade your band to the next level. And how do you do that if you're shy and you don't talk to people? So we set up meetings with all our bands, and they've got guys from anywhere from management to labels to PR guys, to just the boss who runs the battle. He'll sit down for 15 minutes and talk to you. And like, it's the bands that don't do that are doing themselves a huge disservice. So you're only on stage for 20 minutes, but the whole experience doesn't end there. You're still working, you still got to meet friends, you got to meet new bands. I mean, you could literally, if you do it right, you could set up a whole European tour with the band you meet and all that stuff. I mean, a lot of bands don't think that way when they're networking, but it's true. Like, if you stay in contact with every band that you meet there, you could go out there and rent yourself a little van and book yourself a date with every one of those bands around the world, around Europe.
Yeah.
But do the bands think that way or not? It's my job to guide them into that thinking process and all that.
Dude.
You were gonna say?
Sorry, Brandon. I was gonna say, dude, I love what you guys do, man. And that's and what you guys are saying is literally what Wacken is all about, dude. It's all about helping bands, helping each other, helping the music community, and really lifting each other up, and about hard work, dude. And
one of my favorite things, Thomas always talks about, and he's very fervent on this. It's it's a metal battle, but we're not battling each other. We're battling everyone else as a metal community. And so the more we grow the battle and the more countries get involved, it's better our army as a whole against everyone else. We're battling them, not each other. And I couldn't think of it better myself, because I personally, especially as a musician, hate battle of the bands. I've never been into pit art versus art, that kind of thing. But when Wacken does this, it's a different story. It's a different ball game. It's a different hockey game. Go Red Wings, John. You know what I mean? Like, it's surreal is what it is. And you don't say no to that opportunity, whether you like Battle of the Bands or not. Because I've personally seen this battle do good for hundreds of bands now over the years. I've been going every year since 2018. And every year there's another 30 new bands. And every year another 30 new bands. And more countries join as promoters. And it just grows and grows and grows. And I couldn't be more proud to be in it. So shout out to Thomas. Shout out to Sasha. Shout out to Salman.
You still there?
Did he freeze? He's froze. Oh no.
Did he? Oh
and
no.
All of our fellow promoters around the world and all those fans you guys are talking about. Did I get out?
Am I there? For a second. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're back now.
Fuck you to all the fans that I'm trying to thank. Anyway, yeah, and like you say, the people show up for the first band. They're there to see the music. We couldn't do this if those people weren't there for us. It has to grow. We have to be a family. We have to make it what it is. And right now it's getting big, and I'm really happy about it.
Dude, I love it, dude. And honestly, like, me going to Wacken this year as media, and me be able to be the host over in the Pacific Northwest was just a dream come true for me, because I'm 36, and I've been watching these festivals from afar since I was 12 years old. You know what I mean? That's my first Ozfest, and going like, whoa, look at all these European bands and these European festivals, and I'm like, whoa, what's Wacken? You know what I mean? And it was just like,
it's vice versa. Back then, you'd get, Arch Enemy on the second stage, or Cradle if you're lucky, or Demu if you're lucky.
Yeah.
And now you get a few American bands to all the European bands, because you're on their turf now.
It's so beautiful, dude. And the people are there are so nice, dude. And after going, I did some recording, and I was like, dude, this battle is so important for all these bands, because every like I'll just say like for bands like I've seen like I'll name a couple a band Radity from Spain and Guillotine from Canada and of course Expello from Switzerland, Morning High USA. Like there was bands that like I literally saw like they were nervous, but then as soon as they got on stage, they were completely different people that I've ever seen, almost like they leveled up as soon as
You
they hit
have
that
to.
stage.
It
You know what I mean?
forces you to.
Yeah, and it was so beautiful to see, dude, because I was just like, oh my God, like as a fan too, like I saw them living their dreams out, and I was like, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And all these people that went to Wacken are so excited for these new bands. There's no smugginess or anything. Like people are moshing for the very first battle band to the very end battle band, dude, and everybody's having fun and. It's so worth it for any band that ever does this battle. Like I swear to God, going through all these battles and saving up money for these trips, man. I swear this is the opportunity of a lifetime that is totally worth taking, dude. Like Wacken Metal Battle is just, and the fact that Wacken does this is just beautiful.
Agreed.
Agreed, dude. And also last things I know we're going over our time, but also there's a battle once you get to Germany too.
Oh yeah, it's you're just
Which
like the Wacken Metal Battle USA and Canada and Indonesia, and Spain, France, Germany.
Japan.
Those are all your just individual countries
Yeah, and then they all
fighting for your chance to go fight for your country.
yeah.
It was beautiful, dude. And also huge shout out to the winners who did win the whole thing, Expello. Seeing Expello live, dude, I just want to give them a huge shout out. They were just so incredible live, dude. You know what I mean? And I'm happy that like over there, like I don't know, man, there's just so much opportunity, man. I just recommend it for everybody, dude. Like you said, 30 new bands every year. It's insane.
Well, I've been following Expello for roughly 4 years now.
Oh, okay.
So to me, it was no big surprise. But you know,
Yeah,
like,
they sounded pro, dude. They
oh
sounded pro.
yeah, they sounded pro years ago.
I love it. I love it. Just to end the interview, I do want to give a huge shout out to Wacken Open Air. It's the 35th anniversary. So huge shout out to Thomas and Holger and everybody who works for Wacken Open Air. I went my first year this year and I can't wait to just go every year and just take my son eventually and I just want to say congratulations to the whole Wacken family for all the hard work that you guys do. That's including you, John, and you, Eric, and everybody who's the teams involved. Because this year I came in and I was like the new guy. I could tell when I got there, I was like the loudest person in every circle. I swear, I couldn't help it, dude. I couldn't help it. I was such a chatty Cathy, dude. Like how you guys said you made friends from everywhere around the world. I made so many friends, dude. And it was just it's the most beautiful festival in the world. So just congratulations. Any words you guys want to give out to Wacken before we close this out for their 35th anniversary?
Well, we'll see what we announce for this year. And then yeah, we'll get rolling on, letting the bands know
What?
all that jazz.
I'd say the future is bright.
Yeah.
And I want to thank John, as always. He knows I love him. Thank you for having us.
Man, I love you, dude. I think, having Eric definitely upped the game for the metal battles in the US.
Thanks, man.
I love it, dude. I love it. And you know what? I feel like we're like in that movie, like what is it? Like Pineapple Express, like where we're all friends at the end. Like, hey, I love you guys. Hey, I love you too, man.
Where do they go
Hey.
to, like a Denny's? They're like
Yeah.
eating.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we'll all three be at Wacken one of these years. And if, like that's hope. I'm really hoping I can get away and get over to Europe sooner than later again. Like I just miss everybody there.
No, and likewise, dude. I hope to run into you guys because I realized after going to Wacken like how like how the family is formed together, you know. And it's insane how everybody just knows each other, dude. And it's always all love and like I didn't feel anything negative from being over there, dude. I can't tell you how many times I was lost and people were like helping me out, dude. Like I met two people, my friend Ben, my friend Timos from Belgium. And I remember I wasn't gonna have enough time to like get some euros out of a machine. I didn't even like mention that I didn't have any euros, but they're like, "Hey man, we want you to have 50 euros just because we know this is your first time. You probably don't have any money, don't you?" And I was like, "Oh, I use my card," but like every ATM was declining it because they thought like somebody robbed my card. So I had to keep calling my bank and be like, "No, I'm in Germany. I'm here. Nobody's stealing the money." But yeah, dude. Eric Dow, Wacken Battle United States representative on the line, and Mr. John Asher, Wacken Metal Battle Canada. Guys, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for being on the show tonight and making time. I know it's late. It's almost Friday. And I hope to see you guys at Wacken soon. I'm going next year, so hopefully one of you guys will join me in the rain and we'll rock out.
I plan on being there.
Man.
All right, Eric, we'll meet up this time. I know I owe you lunch, dude. It's insane how busy you can get when you get there. When you think you have all this time, and you just
have
get
none.
slammed. Yeah.
Well,
No,
right.
I was there. I was literally at
lunch
Wacken
on you, beer on me. All right,
dude. Yeah. Was it Kumbacher? The Kumbacher?
Krambaka.
Kumbacher. That stuff was fire, dude. I would drink like 14 a day.
Could drink 14 in an hour.
Ask him about pina coladas.
I like it. John Asher, Eric Dow. Guys, thank you so much for being on the Metal Mixtape, and I can't wait to show the whole world. And once again, happy 35th anniversary to Wacken Open Air. We'll talk to you guys soon, all right?
Thanks for your support.
Thanks for having us.